Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, City of Las Vegas Communications Director David Riggleman. Coming up on this show, we show you the beautiful new improvements made to the Cimarron Rose Community Center, and the city's pop-up parks are back. Here to talk about these topics and much more is our Mayor Pro Tem, Stavros, who is also the Councilman for Ward 4. Welcome back.
Great to be here, and there's a lot of exciting things happening in the city of Las Vegas and in my ward, Ward 4. And great to be talking about and let people know some of the upcoming events that are.
We have quite a few, so let's jump right in. What do you say?
Absolutely.
You know Ward 4 very well. It's his stomping grounds. If you're not exactly sure what area of town we're talking about, well, don't worry. We're going to show you here on the map. Ward 4 is out there in the northwest, basically west of the 95 primarily, although you do have a little finger there that extends on the east side as well. But if you live in that area or work in that area, then you are in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas. And if you're a resident out there, you're represented on the city council by Stavros. So one of the great things that you have out in that ward is Police Memorial Park. And it's hard to believe, Councilman, but it's been 20 years since the 9/11 attack. And I still can't quite get my head around how many years have passed since then. But you posted this on Facebook. You said, a new tree planted at Police Memorial Park honors the victims of 9/11. And this was part of a big ceremony that took place that day to, of course, not just remember those who we lost, but also to put in a tribute for generations to see into the future.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. It's been 20 years since the men and women in uniform and civilians died on 9/11, and it was really remarkable to see so many people come out on this particular day to Police Memorial Park. And you know, it's a 1013 club, which is made up of, there's one right there, retired NYPD officers. They're the ones that put this together. And we've been doing it for about 12, 13 years, and sometimes you only get a few people come out, but this one was absolutely unbelievable, the number of people that came out, and we let off balloons remembering people that died that particular day, and we had a special ceremony where we planted a calorie pear tree, and there's a lot of history behind this. There was a particular tree, a calorie pear tree that they found during the rubble and it was still alive, and they kind of nursed it back and they replanted it some years later. And every year, New York, if they see a particular tragedy that happened in a community, they'll send a seedling from the pear tree. And ours obviously was October 1, the mass shooting. That was a terrible event. And our Parks and Rec people took the seedling and grew it into a tree, and one was planted at the fire
Station 5,
and the other one we planted that particular day. So it's just another way to remember these tragic events and make sure that we remember people that died on those particular days, and it's good that we do this. We remember these people, remember the event, and pray that it'll never happen again.
Here.
But if you want to go out to Police Memorial Park, the tree's there. We also have all the officers that have died in the line of duty in Southern Nevada. There's a tree planted for them, and there's a stone with their name on it. So it's a great park to go and walk your dog and exercise, but it's a good place to remember people that have given up their lives protecting us.
Yeah, and to reflect on that as well. The story of that tree is an incredible thing. Buried under all that rubble, somehow survived, and now its seedlings are being spread around the nation. So, and then Councilman, this is something great too. Speaking of police officers, you posted this on Facebook. You said, recognizing Blue Help Nevada for their first annual golf tournament to raise awareness on the issues pertaining to suicide among law enforcement officers. And this is a bigger problem than I think a lot of people realize, isn't it, Councilman?
It is. The suicide in law enforcement is getting to be a major problem, whether it's active duty or whether they're retired. And just thankfully we have people that put this organization together called Blue Help, and they want to raise awareness and help law enforcement officers that are on active duty or retired, help them through situations in their life that could lead to them committing suicide. We don't want that to happen. And this was their first annual golf tournament to raise money to help them reach out to people and let them know that suicide is not the answer. That there are ways that we can help these men and women. And it was a great turnout. It was a full tournament. It was held out at Reflection Bay, and it was a lot of retired police officers were there. And we raised money to help fund this organization. So this was the first one, and we're going to do it again next year. And I'm just thankful that we have people that want to spend time helping our retired law enforcement officers in active duty, because it's a tough job. And sometimes they're put in some really bad situations where they commit suicide, and we don't want that to happen.
A lot of PTSD, post-traumatic stress, just because of the nature of the job. You know, we saw that a lot in soldiers that have come back from theaters of war. Police officers obviously experiencing the same type of thing. Our firefighters do as well. So.
Yeah, these men and women spend 25 years seeing the worst of the worst situations, and if there's a way we can help them get through the process and have a healthy life, that's what we want to do.
Right. Well, speaking of those who serve, you also remembered our heroes that we lost in Afghanistan recently. This took place at the Ahern Hotel. Tell everybody about this, Mayor Pro Tem.
Yeah, I was at an event at the Ahern Hotel. It was a lunch, and it was remarkable. The Ahern Hotel set up this table with the pictures of the men and women that died in Afghanistan recently, and it had their name, their picture, and it was set up on this table, and you walk by it and you just say a prayer for these people in the military that died in Afghanistan. I just want to say thanks to the Ahern Hotel for putting that together, because there was a lot of people that went by, and again, it's just a way to remember these folks and how they were protecting our country, and they died in the line of duty. So.
It's interesting, Councilman, over the Labor Day weekend, my family and we were in San Diego, and there was a similar setup on the beach there as well.
Oh, okay.
I think the local Marines or Navy had a lot to do with it, but same kind of remembrance. Had pictures of those that we'd lost, and it was a tribute there on the beach, and it was amazing how many people came by and paused, maybe saying a prayer, maybe reflecting, but it was something to see. So
yeah, it's all about remembering these men and women that take these professions where they can die in the line of duty, and thankfully most make it out of the career and retire healthy, but sometimes they die in the line of duty, and we have to remember them.
Exactly. Coming closer to home a little bit here, Cimarron Rose Community Center, kind of the gem, the secret gem of Ward 4 out there. You had some renovation out there at the community center. For those that live in Ward 4, you know about Cimarron Rose. If you don't live in Ward 4, you're probably like, what is this place?
Yeah, it's a little community center at Ann and Cimarron, and it is used a lot in that particular neighborhood, not only by adults, but by kids, and our Parks and Rec folks do a great job setting up activities at this center. So we just spent $1 million renovating it and putting in new dance and gymnastics building, and fixing up the classrooms and the courtyard and the lobby, and expanding the parking lot, because it's not a very big parking lot, and did an absolutely remarkable job. I mean, the place looks absolutely fabulous. And we're getting ready to have a ribbon cutting and announce it to the community that they have a new community center where they can come and participate in activities that our Parks and Rec people put together. And it's great for, like I said, adults and kids, and we're just very proud of these centers that are absolutely huge all over the city of Las Vegas. Some are these little ones, like you said, little gems that are tucked into this community that that particular residential neighborhood knows about, but anybody can use it. So come on out and take a look at it, and we're going to announce it to the public.
Yeah, it turned out great too. It turned out really well. So a lot of good use from that money out there. So. And then, Councilman, this is interesting too. You posted this on Facebook. You said, presenting a proclamation to Relay for Life, the largest fundraising arm of the American Cancer Society, for all the great work they do in our Las Vegas community. And this was an event that took place out in your ward, right?
No, actually, this event was at the Rio parking lot.
Okay.
Convention Center. And I heard about it, and I spoke to that lady right there who happened to be a student of mine.
No kidding.
When I taught at the Community College of Southern Nevada 20 years ago. So I heard about it and I knew she was there, so I came out and gave a proclamation, and the place was packed, and people were excited because they were raising money for the Cancer Society. I believe they raised over $50,000 on that particular day. So these are all volunteers that do this. This is all people that want to come out and support the American Cancer Society. So it's important that the city of Las Vegas recognizes what they're doing, and that's what these proclamations are about. And they're really excited to get them and have people say, "Hey, you did a great job." There's nothing wrong with when you're doing a good job to have somebody tell
Exactly.
you did a good job,
as opposed to the opposite, right? When you always hear about when you're not doing a good job, right?
So it was nice to go out there and say hi to everybody and see how excited they were about supporting this organization.
So typical of Las Vegas, a lot of great organizations, a lot of people out there helping others. That's been my experience in all the years I've lived here. Las Vegas is always a community that steps up when it comes to those kinds of things. Speaking of being out in the community, you love getting out there and interacting with your constituents and your residents. You posted this on Facebook. You said, "Great to be at the Sun City Summerlin Health Fair with my staff, wonderful residents." And I know you get out to Sun City out in Ward 4 quite a bit.
Sun City Summerlin is a great community. It's right in the middle of my ward, and I love spending time out there. Just chatting with people and finding out what are the issues that they want the city to deal with. And this was a particular health fair, and my staff was out there, and we're handing out information about senior programs at the city of Las Vegas, and there were a lot of other healthcare providers out there. But it's just I enjoy talking to folks, and most of the time it's hey, you're doing a great job, and the city's doing a great job, and other times, hey, we got this problem, can you fix it?
Right,
and that's what we're here to do. So those are the folks that work with me, and spent a couple hours out there, and it was very well attended, and it was just nice. Most people just want to come up and say hi, how you doing? Thanks for being our councilman, and it was a lot of fun.
Very active out there. Those folks, every time there's an event, they really turn out for it.
Yeah, and we do a lot of events in Sun City, shredding events, hazardous materials events. This one we recognize veterans, but we also do that in Desert Shores and Painted Desert. It's a lot easier to put on these events in these master plan communities because they can get the word out. Yeah,
they communicate amongst themselves really well. Right, exactly.
Yeah, but we do a lot of events at Durango Hills Y, right in the middle of Ward 4. So just be on the lookout, and we're going to let you know. We got some events coming up. Actually, we're going to talk about, and it's just great to have people out there talking with their neighbors, talking with me, and making sure Las Vegas is a great place to live.
Those health fairs are great. It's one-stop shop. Everything you need is in one place. All the people can help you out. It makes life easy. And then, Councilman, I love this. Our pop-up parks are back. You had one out at Wayne Bunker Park. And for those that don't know, a pop-up park is where we bring in some amenities on a temporary basis. But these are fun.
Yeah, we have some of the best parks in the country here in the city of Las Vegas, and they all have activities, walking paths and swings and things. But our Parks and Rec people, they're never sleeping. They're always always making sure that our parks are a great place, and they show up at a park on a particular day, and they put out these activities, and people come out, and these kids and adults, and they just play with these the things that they bring out. You can see what they are.
People love it.
And I enjoy going out there and talking to them and finding out what's going on in their neighborhood. But hats off to the city of Las Vegas for going the extra mile and putting these little events together where these kids just have a great time.
Yeah, if you see this activity going on in a park near you, I'm sure it's going to be an event sponsored by the city, so you're just welcome to take part. It's not going to be a private event or anything like that. Just go ahead, like that young person right there, just go and take advantage and pick up a hula hoop, whatever you want to do, and you're welcome to join us.
Yeah, so if you want to know where the next pop-up parks are, you can call 229-PLAY, P-L-A-Y, or go to the website, and they'll tell you when the next one shows up, and take your kids out there. I guarantee you they're going to have a great time. And you're going to wear them out, and they're going to go home and take a nap.
Exactly, always a good thing. And of course, we do these all across the city. Every ward will have some pop-up park activities, so no question that you're going to get one close to your house. And Councilman did a lot of movies in the park. I love this. You've not been wasting time when it comes to movies in the park. You posted this. You said, a great night for a movie in the park in fabulous Ward 4.
Yeah, it was September 17th. This was at Durango Hills Y,
Nice
and we
turnout.
had the screen up. Metro was out there. We played the movie Raya, the Last Dragon.
Yeah, that's
and,
right. That's right.
Lots of people came out. You can see they put their blankets up, and as soon as the sun went down, we played the movie, and it's free. It doesn't cost you. It doesn't cost you a dime, and we love doing these things because they're outdoors. The kids can come out. They can run around at the beginning. Yeah. There's food trucks out there if you want to purchase food, or you can bring your own. Metro police officers are out there. I'm out there, and it's a good way to meet your neighbors and talk to folks that are sitting next to you, or talk to me, and create this sense of community where people know what's going on.
That's exactly what those do. They create that sense of community where everybody comes together. You see your neighbors. Everybody's having a good time, and it kind of creates that nice ambiance for your neighborhood. You know, everybody's kind of feeling like they're connected to one another. That's always a good thing.
And we want to do as many of these as we can, because people are still, I think, a little concerned about going to movies indoors.
Right.
But this is all outside, and the weather here is 95% cooperative when we put this on.
Right. Well, you did one on the 17th, you just said September 17th. Then you had another one, and this was at Desert Shores. The first one was at Durango Hills. The second one, Desert Shores, on September 24th. And same movie?
Same movie. It was in Desert Shores, as you mentioned, at their lagoon. Great turnout.
Yeah, that's
Lots
a nice
of people
place there,
came out, and again, everybody's talking to each other and meet with my staff, and it was another fun night. And again, it was free. Didn't cost you a dime.
You got to love that. It's your tax dollars working for you there. We're going to put these events on for you. And if you're thinking, well, hey, I'm really bummed out that I missed the opportunity to see a movie in the park, don't worry, because stay tuned, because we're going to tell you about some events coming up. But in the meantime, October 13th, Coffee with the Cop is coming up. Tell everybody about this, Councilman.
As you can see on the screen, it's October 13th at the Starbucks at Craig and 95, and I'll be out there. My staff will be out there. We'll have some Metro police officers, some of our own city deputy marshals. And, you know, a lot of times people are a little intimidated talking to a police officer or even a councilman. And this is a great way to come in. We're sitting around having a cup of coffee, donut or something, and you can talk to me and you can talk to these officers. And
these are the officers that patrol your neighborhood generally. Yeah.
And you can come in and just say, hi, how you doing? And put a face and a name to who's working in your neighborhood, or even more important, if you have a particular issue in your neighborhood, you can talk to us right then. Tell us what it is, whether it's crime related or non-crime related that I could help you out with. So come on in. You can stay for an hour, or you can stay for 5 minutes, and we'd be glad to talk to you, and you get to meet me and these officers and tell us about what's going on in the neighborhood.
Yeah, informal and just a great way to get everybody to get to know each other. That's good stuff. Then I mentioned other movies in the park. You have one October 15th at Durango Hills Park. The movie is Cruella, and this has been a big hit already.
It is. It's a great movie, and this is going to be held at the newest park in the city of Las Vegas, Durango Hills Park, which is up by Cliff Shadows and Cheyenne, and it's a beautiful park. It's on the complete west end of the valley. It's tucked up next to the mountain, and the sun goes down pretty quick, so the movie gets started pretty quick. But it's usually a little cooler up there, and it's a big park, and there's a lot of things for kids to do before we play the movie. So they'll be worn out by the time the movie starts. But again, you can come out and, like you saw on the other pictures, put your blanket out, bring some Kentucky Fried Chicken, and just sit out there and relax under the stars, and you're going to have a great time. Yeah,
that's going to be, again, October 15th. And then another tradition out in Ward 4, it's coming up. I can't believe it's almost time to do it again. Your annual Trunk or Treat event, this is going to be October 22nd. And again, we're doing it a little differently this year, like we did last year because of COVID.
Yeah, normally we set up the cars in the parking lot and you walk around and pick up candy, but the way we did it last year and where we're going to do it this year is you're going to stay in your car and we're going to line you up, and we'll have some deputy marshals out there for traffic control, because last year hundreds of cars came out, but it was very well organized. The city did a great job, and you're going to drive your car through this maze of people dressed up in costumes trying to scare you and handing out candy, and the kids can get all dressed up, and it was actually a lot of fun. It worked out pretty well. So we're going to do it again this year, and I guarantee you're going to walk away with lots of candy and have a great time doing it.
Yeah, again, that's going to be October 22nd, Durango Hills Community Center and YMCA out there. And again, it'll be safe. You stay in your car, you drive through, and again, we're doing it just because we want to be safe. We want to keep everybody safe. And then, Mayor Pro Tem, we should talk about this too. Mayor Goodman, and with some assist from you, said yes to the Republican National Committee. They want to have their national convention in some city, and they inquired if Las Vegas was interested. And the mayor said, well, it's not a political thing for her. She sees it as a huge economic boost, and she'd like to invite the Democrats too.
Yeah, this is a big deal for the city of Las Vegas in a couple of perspectives. Number one, it's the Republican National Convention, which is, it's lit up through the entire world, the scenes that you're going to see here in Las Vegas. So it's exciting that they asked us to send in
submit
request,
a bid,
to bid to actually hold it here. And conventions are coming back. That's what we want. We want more conventions coming to Las Vegas, creates jobs, brings in hundreds of $millions into our community.
Yeah, literally.
And I'm very thankful. Mayor Goodman said we're going to put something together and submit it, and hopefully we'll have the Republican National Convention. It would be great to have the Democrat National Convention here in the same within a couple of months.
Yeah, and that's happened. Some cities have hosted both. And so, it'd be great if we could land the same thing.
And you don't have any city in the world that can put conventions together like we do. The convention space, the hotel rooms, the amenities, people are going to come here, they're going to do their business, but they're going to have a great time doing it too. So we'll put a great package together and see if we get picked.
Yeah, so submittals are due by December 1st. And again, the economic benefit to the cities that host these major political parties, their national conventions, it's in the neighborhood of about $200 million. Yeah. So it's a big deal. And if you could land one, it's huge. Imagine if you could land both of them. Wow.
It would be the newsworthiness of both events would be astronomical.
Yeah. So fingers crossed that, and as you've said, and the mayor agrees 100%, what city does conventions and conferences better than we do? Nobody. So, all right. So stay tuned for all of that. We'll keep our fingers crossed that both the D's and the R's decide to come to Las Vegas.
That would be great. Absolutely.
Well, Mayor Pro Tem, we are about out of time here. It's always a pleasure doing the show with you, but we want to tell everybody out there, hey, we always want to hear from you. So if there's something you'd like to share with Mayor Pro Tem Anthony, you can find him on Facebook and Twitter. He's very active. You can also contact him by picking up the phone, 702-229-6405, or send him an email. His address is santhony@lasvegasnevada.gov, and here one of his great staff will get right back to you. So,
yeah, and I just want to thank our city employees here in Las Vegas that just do a phenomenal job taking care of our city and the residents. And anytime people call my office or call the city asking for help in a particular way, our city employees are on it. They are very dedicated to making sure we have a great city and our residents are taken care of. So thanks to everyone that works here. We
do have a good crew, but you work very hard at that too to make sure that we're responsive on everything as well.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's nice when somebody calls up their government and they actually respond.
How about that? Yeah.
And that's what I like doing, and that's what the city of Las Vegas is doing.
It's what we strive to be. Yeah, so if you've got an issue, we want to try to take care of it. And if it's not our issue, if it's somebody else's in other jurisdictions, we'll at least point you in the right direction too. Your staff's so good about being a resource on how to find that right door to open. Yeah. So anyway, well, Mayor Pro Tem, again, thanks for being on the program. Good to have you on. We'll see you back in 6 weeks with another update from Ward 4. In the meantime, don't miss our next show beginning on October 7th with Ward 2 City Councilwoman Victoria Seaman. You can catch all of our KCLV shows on Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Also, watch for our QR code after the show to subscribe to our newsletter. And don't forget, you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time around.